Welcome to another episode of Amazing Individuals, where we talk to individuals with intellectual disabilities and people that support them. Today, we're going to be talking to Brian Donovan. He has been acting for over 25 years and has had the honor of acting alongside Jim Belushi, Jim Carrey, and Angelina Jolie. He is also the director of the award-winning documentary Kelly's Hollywood, which is about the intimate relationship he has had with his spectacular sister, who was born with Down syndrome. Brian has toured internationally, speaking about inclusion, equality, and how imperative it is for everyone to be given the chance to pursue their dreams. Hi, Brian. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me, Lisa and Kurt. So nice to be here. I love what you guys are doing. Love the idea behind the podcast and celebrating amazing individuals and celebrating yourselves who are also amazing individuals. So thank you so much for having me. I'll even give your viewers and listeners a little visual of my awesome sister. That's Kelly. That's our little link and why I'm here. So anyway, love my sister Kelly. Anyway, thank you guys for having me. It means a lot to me.
Oh, anytime. So, first of all, can you just tell, where you're from and, maybe a little bit of background about yourself?
Absolutely. Yeah. I was born in the 60s. No. I'm from Buffalo, New York, which is about 20 minutes from Niagara Falls. And I was there until, I guess I lived full time there until I was about 18. And then I went to university in Cleveland, Ohio, at a school called John Carroll University. And then I spent almost 5 years there, 4.5 years there, I guess. I went to school. And then after I went to school, I became a nanny for 3 little girls, which was awesome. But then my student loans came due and I was like, I better get serious. And then I became an account executive for a newspaper and hated it and was like, all right, this isn't it. And then I delivered a car to Hollywood in 1990. And it was pretty cool. You put like a $200 deposit down, and people that needed their car from like one location to another, they needed it. So I registered for that and got a car that needed to be from Buffalo to LA. I just had to put a $200 deposit down, pay for gas, and drove out in 1990 to pursue a life as a performer in Hollywood. So that was kind of the trajectory until 1990. And then I've been out here for almost 32 years, which is crazy. But yeah, originally from Buffalo, New York, and still have family there and friends. And in fact, every Thursday night I Zoom with my buddies that I grew up with, and which has been really special. And that actually is because of the pandemic, because Zoom kind of, took off and exploded and gives us opportunity to see each other, which is amazing. So it's been fun to see friends and family and stuff like that on a regular basis. But anyway, that's where I'm from.
Yeah, I drove through Buffalo. I've never been, but because I've gone to Niagara Falls, so
cool.
We drove through Buffalo, but I've never stopped there. I've heard it's nice though. So
yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got a lot of beautiful architecture. But Niagara Falls was amazing. Did you like Niagara Falls?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So
yeah. A lot of water.
Oh, no, definitely. So yeah. So
did you do the Maid of the Mist? Did you do the boat?
Yes, we did. So yeah. I didn't realize that you would get that wet, but I know they said that, but I didn't realize they meant that much. So,
yeah, it's pretty intense. It's like the perfect storm.
Yeah. So are you ready?
Yep. Okay. When did you get involved in acting, and what was it like to act alongside Jim Belushi and Jim Carrey?
Ooh, that's a good one. I decided, like I said, I came out in 1990, delivered the car, and I had 2 bags of clothes, a music box, and a bicycle. And that's how I got around, and that's how I lived for about first 2 years. And I was always performing, and you guys saw my documentary, Kelly's Hollywood. But my sister and I, kind of always, lit each other up that way and supported each other that way. and fed off each other's, performance and antics and silliness. And so, I always kind of had the bug, so to speak,
Yeah.
the acting entertainment bug. And then when I came out here, I got more serious about it. And I got really, pretty fortunate. I was a DJ in college.
Oh, cool.
And was on the radio for 4 years. And so because of that experience, and I did plays and musicals in high school and college, but because of that experience with the DJ, I was able to get in with the voice world. So I started doing radio commercials, and then that led me to on-camera commercials, and then that led me to film and television. So I've done a little bit of everything through the years, but yeah, I just always, wanted to do it. And I waited tables for a long time too, just to try to get, in and until I started making money as an actor. I waited tables for a few years, and I used to live with, I don't know if you guys know Molly Shannon, but when I
Yeah.
first lived in Hollywood, her and I were roommates for about 5.5 years until she got on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that was really fun and cool, and she was amazing, amazing actress, obviously, but a really dear friend of mine. And then we just, kind of climbed the ladder, as they say, slowly but surely. Yeah, and that's how I got in.
I just have a
Oh, go ahead.
quick question. Do you know if you run into any of the the actors like Jim Carrey or Belushi?
Belushi?
Yeah, so that's a great, because that was the other part of your question. And it was really fun acting with them. I did In Living Color with Jim Carrey, which was really cool and really early on.
I actually have the videos.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Love
awesome.
the dancers.
Yeah. Well, so I was in a skit with him called Make a Death Wish. And it was kind of a play on Make a Wish.
So is that a movie?
No, that was a skit they did in
Oh,
yeah, that was a skit. That was a skit I did on In Living Color, and so that was really fun. And but I was a frog, like no one even knows it's me because I was like in a big frog costume and all that. But he was cool. He was nice. And then I worked with Jim Belushi on Total Security, a show that didn't really last very long. And he was nice. But yeah, I mean the big actors are. Some are nice, some are okay, some are not so nice. I mean, it just kind of depends. And I usually try to, not judge people, but accept people for what they're giving me, So if they're nice to me, I'll be nice to them. And if they're not nice to me, I mean, I'll still try to be nice to them.
Right.
No one's really ever been not very nice. What I think you find, especially if you get past the fame thing, is that most people are they're just people, they eat and poop and just like us, they sleep, and they're just people, and they're good at what they do. A lot of them just got lucky. But they're all just people, and they have, problems and triumphs and challenges, and just like all of us. And and I think the more you get to know them, the more you realize that fame is just a title or a label. It's not, they're still dealing with a bunch of stuff, and they're still trying to figure it out. And money makes a lot of problems go away, but it doesn't make all the problems go away, because it's all relative. Right? Then they end up spending what they're making, and then they have money problems too. Even though they're making a lot of money, they spend a lot of money, and so it's all that. But everybody's was pretty cool. Angelina Jolie was awesome. She was really sweet to me. That was.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
What's that?
Do you still see these people sometimes?
I haven't seen Angelina Jolie or Jim Carrey or Jim Belushi, and since I worked with them. I do have a couple friends that are famous. I'm still dear friends with Kathy Morris from Cold Case and Danny Pino. One of my good friends is Tony Horton, who's like a fitness guru. And he did like, P90X and all that stuff. And so, I know.
I was just, I'm sorry that I was just wondering if, if you ever run into them that, what you're doing for me, if they could send me something like an autograph picture or something.
Oh yeah, you want to try to do an autograph thing? I might be able to wrangle one or two from you. I'll ask and see if I can get it.
But I mean from them, so that they could sign it,
Yeah, absolutely.
And send it to me. Because I
Yeah.
don't know if I'll ever be able to meet him or not, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
might, I may not, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you go to appearance things?
We tried to when we get a chance to, so, but, and then he just found out that we had to go to LA anyway, because he's sometime, because he just found out that he has a half brother that lives out there that he never knew he had, so.
mhm.
Oh, wow. Holy mackerel. How did you
Yeah.
find that out?
Oh, my older sister, not my
Yeah.
my first oldest sister, she found out what's it called, injury to,
Ancestry.com.
yeah.
Oh,
and-
yeah. And she found them, and wow.
yeah,
I'm
so
hearing
I
that a
have-
lot. I'm hearing that story a lot of people like discovering they have a
Yeah.
brother or sister in the world, you know?
I got a brother in
In LA.
in LA and a brother in Denver, so it's like, so I'm gonna meet up with him one day, so.
What's your brother do in LA? Do you know?
I don't remember, but I think I want to say security, but I'm not 100% sure, so.
Yeah. That's cool, man. Wow, that's
Yeah.
so crazy. When did you find out about them?
Not sure.
Last year.
Wow. Yeah, that's wild. My friend found out his dad wasn't his dad and realized that his real dad, who we found on ancestry.com, was down actually near LA too, in Newport. And he plays Santa Claus every year in the mall. And so he said, well, let's meet. I'm playing Santa Claus and come down and say hello. And so, yeah, now they're
Just
now
like
they're
Jim Carrey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, what was it like to grow up with a sister who had Down syndrome?
Well, as I said, my sister was my soulmate. I love her to death, and even though she's dancing on clouds now, she was my everything. She was my best friend. I didn't really know. I think when you're a kid, you don't really know, different in that way. I don't think I really even knew what Down syndrome was. I don't remember really having the conversation with my parents. Oh, your sister was born with Down syndrome. I'm like, you're too young. She's just your sister. And we got along really well, and we loved each other, and we adored each other, and we admired each other, and we really enjoyed performing for each other and cheering for each other. And so, she's all I ever knew. I mean, I have an older brother too, Ed, who I love, and we're good friends. And but my sister and I had something special, and I don't know, I think with Down syndrome, or our relationship, like every relationship, I think it evolves through time. And at different stages in our lives, when we were kids, I didn't really know what Down syndrome even was. And then as I got older, probably 13, 14, 15, certainly in my teen years, I think recognized it for what it was and started doing book report, not book reports, reports and writing assignments in class and talking about my sister in that way. And then I recognized the differences, of course, just the fact that she was in special education and that she didn't go to the same school as me or was in the same, and so, and that, I think that bothered me. And I was more cognizant of the fact that we were different and that our paths were kind of, as we got older, we're kind of diverging, which was really, I addressed in the documentary, right? There's a lot of guilt there.
Yep.
There's a lot of sadness there. There's a lot of, I wish that she could be by my side. I wish that she could pursue, which is also why I tried to support as many of her dreams as possible too. Because I wanted her to experience the same things that I was experiencing. If she wanted to, I mean, I wanted her to be her own person, but she wanted to, and she loved Hollywood too. So yeah, I think at different stages of our lives, it took on new meaning or different meaning, and how it affected our relationship together, how it affected her life and my life, things like that. So it definitely evolves, or evolved. But yeah, she was amazing. I didn't see, aside from what I described, I didn't really see my sister, as disabled or with Down syndrome necessarily. I mean, obviously there were those differences that I illustrated, but I just loved her. I just felt grateful that I had someone in my life that loved me as much as I loved her, and that we, supported each other in ways that a lot of siblings don't. The fact that we had each other and that we loved each other, and supported each other was very special, and I felt special, and so I really, my sister was amazing. She was amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's so nice to see relationships like that, because a lot of times you don't see that, a lot of times we see like the siblings that, either they just shrug the person away, or they just don't, treat them the right way. So it's nice when, you don't see them for the disability, but you treat them just the way they, like a regular person, so.
Yeah. Well, I was very, very lucky, because I think, your show is called Amazing Individuals. And I wish my sister was still alive, because frankly, she should be on, not me. Like, I mean, yeah, I feel like I'm a good person, and I feel like I've tried my whole life to be a good person. I don't know if I'm amazing, but I know my sister was amazing. And I know that she was remarkable in every way. And I know that every life that she touched or had contact with, and was special, and that she created this ripple in the world of this really positive, wonderful, unique, authentic energy. And I feel like she really made people's lives better. And there was this wonderful exchange between her and the people that she interacted with. And so, yeah, amazing, amazing individual. So.
That's good. Yeah, that's a good thing, because I wouldn't want to answer this. Go ahead.
I just have one more. I just have one more question. That
Yeah,
you played football, right?
I did for a little while.
Yeah.
I mean, I played with my little boys, but I only wore a uniform for when I was 8 for 1 year.
Because I saw in the video that, or in a documentary, that you had a uniform on.
Yeah. I did for a year when I was 8. Did you play football?
He plays flag football. Both of us do.
I'm the
So.
quarterback.
Oh, I love flag football. I
we'll
just
play
coached my
sometime.
sons. We have to play sometime. I just coached
All
my
right.
son, my 8-year-old. Well, he's now 9, but his flag football team. I love it.
Well, let me know, because I'm a really good quarterback.
Oh, sweet.
And I know the plays.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm in. Let's do it.
All right. Okay.
We'll eat pizza. We'll eat pizza after the football, because we don't want to.
No. And I'll take care of that.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
All right. I'll get back to this. What was it like to work with your sister?
Oh, it was a dream, like I said. I mean, her dream and our dream often aligned. And she was amazing, because she was so passionate. I think she was very contagious that way, in the sense that, when you see someone in the world firing on all cylinders, and that they're so passionate about what they are, what they want to do, and who they are, that's very attractive, right? When you see it. I mean, we've been around those people. I know you're friends with Daniel, and Daniel is that person. Like, he's firing on all cylinders. He loves, who he is and what he does. And that's really attractive. And that's also what's attractive about you guys. And when you reached out to me, those are amazing qualities as a human being, as an individual. They're hard to find sometimes, because often we're not sure, what we want to do or who we are. Sometimes, we have moments where we're like really dialed in, and moments where we're like, oh, I don't know who I am today, or this year, or this month, or I'm finding myself, or what's next for me. Like, I'm sure there was a transition for you, with your arthritis, when you couldn't work anymore. I was like, oh no, who's Lisa? And like, these are hard times. Like, I got to reinvent myself, and who am I? And then you're like, you found the podcast, and you found something to sink your teeth into again. Like, you're like, I'm going to do this, and that's awesome. And that's like the best you, right? Because you're dialed in, and you're like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do with everything I got. And that's remarkable. My sister was that way almost throughout her life. She was very passionate about what she wanted, who she was, who she wanted, aka men. And and so to be around that, and to be, I use the word special a few times, but it was special. And to work with her was special, and to make the film together and do the show together that we did, that's in the movie, was a dream come true for me, because it's all I ever wanted for her. I wanted her to shine in that way. I wanted her to show people that she was more than her disability, that she was funny and talented and passionate and a woman,
Yeah.
and all these things. And so, yeah, it was amazing. I mean, honestly, I joke all the time that I was just going for the ride. You know what I mean? I felt lucky to be in the Kelly Donovan mobile, you know, and that, you know, that I was part of her life, you know, very, felt very, very lucky and fortunate.
Well,
Okay,
that's-
just a quick question.
Yeah.
That you know, she said that you know, she wanted like a boyfriend, you know,
I
like
call
in
it
the
boyfriend, yeah.
documentary.
Yeah.
That came true, right? I mean, with meeting up when she wanted to meet somebody.
Oh,
Yeah, there was a lot of times that she met her, you know, her man of the
Yeah.
hour, or her flavor
Yeah.
of the hour. You know, there's the Robin Gibb, the Colin Firth,
Yeah.
and you know, yeah, she met a lot of her quote unquote boyfriends. She only had a couple, you know, what I would call real boyfriends,
Yeah.
typical relational, you know, things that, you know, that we have, that we're fortunate enough to have with our marriages. But you know, I think that part of it scared her a little bit. You know, she went on a date with a boy who I won't say his name, but he was a young man. They were in high school, and you know, he tried to touch her in an inappropriate way at the time and didn't ask. And I think it really scared my sister sexually. And so from then on, I think, even though she talked about sex all the time and she was very sexual and sensual and like whoa, ba boom, ba boom, you know, but I think the reality of it was very scary for her because she had that kind of unfortunate situation and experience. And so I think she shied from that. And I think the fantasy boyfriends were safer in a lot of ways. You know, she could romanticize it, she could have those feelings, but she didn't have to worry about the maturity or the, you know, the sexual experience or, you know, things like that. And so even though for a lot of us that's like the big draw, right? It's like the intimacy and the, you know, the sex is super, you know, exciting or attractive. You know, for my sister, I think it was very daunting and very scary for her. And so, you know, and I do wrestle with that. You know, I think because I helped and encouraged so much the fantasy relationships, you know, maybe she would have had a more quote unquote typical relationship if, you know, I didn't encourage the fantasy or didn't support the fantasy, or she didn't like really always have the fantastical relationship. You know, maybe she would have nurtured or cultured you know, a more typical relationship. I don't really know. And you know, I think about it though. I do think about it sometimes. But I think she was happy, you know, with the love that she did have and the men that she had in her life, fantasy or otherwise.
Yeah. So what was it like when you met when she met Robin Gibb? So,
That was out.
that was all three of them.
Yeah, it was all three of them. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
for your viewers, if you don't know who Robin Gibb was and you haven't seen the movie, my sister, it was the Bee Gees. My sister was on the back of the bus with the Bee Gees, and the Bee Gees sang like "How Deep Is Your Love" and "Staying Alive, Staying Alive." You know, they have mega hits. They were like I consider them one of the first boy bands.
Well, that's
You know?
I really like them because I listen to their music.
Yeah, it's great, right? And it really gets you in a great mood, and it's toe tapping, and they're associated a lot with disco because they were, you know, had a huge, you know, Staying Alive, Saturday Night Fever.
But that was really cool when she said that, you know, she had a crush on Robin.
Yeah, well, she did for
so
6
like
years.
that really touched me.
6 years, yeah, and she had it for 6 years.
Yeah.
6 years. And she did, and she met Robin. She got on the back of their tour bus. Well, 60,000 fans were screaming for the Bee Gees to get on stage, and they're on the back of their tour bus with my sister Kelly. I mean, it was nuts. Yeah, and it was really special. It was remarkable in the sense that, well, for obvious reasons, because she was on the back of the bus with the Bee Gees, her love. But you know, the fact that that's the last thing they did before they got on stage in front of all those people, and they hadn't played in Los Angeles in 21 years. So like the fans were rabid. They were so excited, and they're waiting because they're on the back of the bus with their, you know, with Kelly. So it was awesome. We were on there for 8 minutes. It was really special, super exciting.
Now, Barry's the only one that's still alive. from the birth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they do the same thing that you do, like help people with disabilities?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I know that they're really awesome to my sister. As far as like their work with disabilities, or if they do any advocacy, I don't know. I mean, as you know, Barry's the only one that's still alive.
Mhm.
And I don't know if Barry does or not. I've never heard of him doing anything like that. I mean, in a way that, like he's an ambassador or something to a nonprofit or Best Buddies or Special Olympics. I don't know. I don't think so.
That was the
But
best
that
way.
said, I don't know. Maybe he's
Yeah.
donated money.
Yeah.
Maybe he does stuff that that's not public. It's
Yeah.
hard to say because some advocates, they're very public about it, and some are very private about it. And they just
Yeah.
donate money and stuff like that. So or merchandise or paraphernalia
Right.
or autographs, things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So,
So actually that kind of leads into our next question anyway, Kirk. So
oh yeah,
Um,
nice.
yeah, so like as a brother of someone that had a disability, what would you like to see happen in today's society to improve the lives of individuals with intellectual disabilities?
That's an awesome question. I saw that you guys were kind enough to send me the questions before, and it's an amazing question, and it's an important question. In fact, I do sibling workshops, so I work with siblings who have siblings, with intellectual or physical disabilities, and we talk about stuff like that. And I just asked them that question last week, or a similar question that, and some of the siblings, they said a lot of things, but one of the siblings said something that I say a lot, which is more awareness, and just more visibility, in the sense that I wish I made a movie about my sister and sharing my sister that way, because I think exposure is everything. I think when people saw my sister from afar,
Mhm.
they saw someone that was Down syndrome, if they even knew what Down syndrome was, but they
Yeah.
saw someone with a disability, and they would put her in a label or a box that was convenient with that, right? They didn't. Sorry, there's my box. But they put her in a box that was convenient for them. Oh, she's disabled, or oh, she has Down syndrome, or oh, she's other than, and
Mhm.
and I think that's the biggest hurdle that we have to still get past. I liken it to glasses. All three of us are wearing glasses, right?
Mhm.
Our vision, the lack of vision, is a disability, right?
Yes.
But because glasses has become so common that we don't even really think about it. We don't
Right.
think of this. I can barely see you guys. We don't really think of
Right.
this as a disability because so many people wear glasses. Sometimes we don't even notice glasses on faces because
Exactly.
so many people wear glasses, right? Unless someone's got some crazy bling glasses, or but I mean, we don't really notice anymore because it's so common. We've all been exposed to it so much that it ceases to be a disability, in the
Yeah.
sense that, oh, they're disabled. Like you would never look at someone with glasses and go, oh, they're disabled. And so I think the reason I bring that up is I think it's very, very, very important that we get to a place that it's so common and so exposed that either more disabled people are in films and commercials and in books and are in the world, because I think we as a society, as a humanity, have to do better job
Mhm.
at infusing society with people that have disabilities in the world, like ComEd is doing with the ambassador program, right? Because once people are exposed or have interactions with people that are not quote unquote typical, or however you want to flag it or label it, or I mean, I hate even doing that, as and I'm sure you do too, because it's like I don't want to be a label or a phrase or a word. But it's convenient for society to do that. But regardless of how you describe, I think if we have interactions with each other and we have connections, authentic connections, and we are able to experience each other in a humanistic way and not on the periphery or whatever, then you go, oh, this is where we all need to be. This is awesome. This is a really wonderful experience that we're having. And that's how I felt like when I made, or my sister forced people to be interacting with her, whether they knew they were going to be or not, which is why I always tried to have my sister by my side, I wanted to force people to get to know my sister as an individual, as a human, not as a label.
Mhm.
And once they did, I would say 99.9% of them had a remarkable experience, and it shattered all those labels, all those stereotypes. And they had this beautiful connection with my sister as two human beings. And I think that's where we still need to go. I think ComEd, again, has done a good job with the ambassadors program, but we need more corporations. We need more filmmakers. We need more people writing books. We need more corporations to infuse their commercials with people with intellectual and physical disabilities. So when someone sees a wheelchair, or they interact with someone with autism, or someone that's, that maybe intellectually is firing a little slower, but they're still this remarkable human being, then that's amazing. And that's what we need to do, because I don't think, and it's the same thing with color and religion and all of those things that we still are butting our heads against. It's like, why? We're all human. Like we all, and look, we don't all have to get along. We're not all gonna like each other. Like everyone has different flavors, like we all, not everybody likes vanilla ice cream, and that's okay. But these things shouldn't separate us either, artificially. They shouldn't separate us in a way without even getting a chance to try it. That's what I tell my kids all the time. It's like, you don't even know if you like that or not. Why don't you try it? And then you can decide, and it's the same thing with people. Why don't you try them and then see, and then judge accordingly, not from afar and look at the vanilla ice cream and go, ew, or pizza with, jalapenos on it and go, no way. Well, try it. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you like that little spicy tang. And then next thing you know, that's all you're eating. Like my wife, she was like, and I hate to compare people to pepperoni and pineapple pizza, but my wife was like, that's my favorite pizza. And I was like, what? And I was so grossed out. I was like, pepperoni and pineapple. And then I had it. And I haven't had pizza without pineapple and pepperoni on it since. Like, I love it. But my initial reaction was, ew, and now I love it. And so I think if we do that with humans and we give everyone a chance to try them, then that's what we need to do. We need to make it so common that it becomes like glasses, and we don't even notice the disabilities. We don't even notice the different. We just experience them on a very pure, authentic way and experience. And that's, it's a lofty answer, and it's a big answer. It's a big umbrella over this thing. Like your original question is like, what would the world look like, or what can we do in the world to make it better for people with disabilities? But that's a start, and I hope, and I hope more practical things are like ComEd. I hope there's more programs like the ambassador program. I hope there's more employment opportunities. I hope that there's true inclusion, the inclusion revolution, where there's no more schools that are separate, or people with disabilities are relegated to another building or another classroom. Sure, for some stuff, absolutely. If it helps them, and it assists them, that they might need a little more educational help, and they might need a little more, a little more accommodation at companies. Absolutely. Like we need to support people in ways that they flourish and they shine, but not relegated to the sidelines. Like that's no good. It's no good.
So have you acted with anybody, that had, other than like your sister, with their documentary, have you ever acted with anybody else that has, had a disability of any kind?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Well, my father was deaf, from the
Mhm.
film. My best friend growing up, and still a dear, dear friend of mine who I see every Thursday night on Zoom, was born with kyphosis, which in layman's terms is very severe hunchback. And he's had a lot of physical problems and challenges and triumphs. But I have a really good friend out here, a few that have Down syndrome, because I'm part of a Down syndrome organization. I'm friends with Daniel, as you know. And so, and there's a couple of organizations that I'm still, like Best Buddies, I'm involved with.
Well, I was in there for a lot of years.
Yeah, you were? Awesome. Yeah, Best Buddies is great.
I had like 3 or 4.
Ah, nice.
I had it for I think I did it for like 10 or 15 years.
Whoa, that's amazing.
It was fun.
How was that? Yeah, it was a good experience.
Yeah. Until I met Lisa, and now that I met Lisa, and it's like,
I don't need buddies. I got
for the rest of
my
my life.
best buddy. That's awesome. How did you guys meet?
We met at Great Lakes for Goodwill with
Oh yeah.
a long time ago, and then we worked at the movie theater together in Evanston.
That's the first.
Oh,
That's
nice.
the
Yeah,
first
yeah, yeah.
place we met, and then we went. Then I met her again at
Great.
up at Great Lakes, and he goes, I remember. He goes, we had lunch one time at McDonald's, and I said, I can remember you because didn't you used to work at the movie theater? He goes, yeah, and so
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well done,
it
guys.
built up from that, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah, yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so you're up next.
yeah. When you're not busy working, what are some things you like to do?
Ooh, that's a fun question. My greatest joy is playing with my two little boys. I have a 7, 9-year-old.
Mhm.
And I always wanted to be a dad, and I love being a dad, and they're great boys. I mean, they're two bam bams, but they're really high energy, but I coach my one son's soccer team. I coach my other son's flag football team, which we talked about. We're always outside doing something crazy and fun and adventure-y or physical and sporty. And so I really love that. I also love to snowboard and bicycle. I'm a huge cyclist. And I really enjoy, I used to really love yoga.
Mhm.
I haven't done it in a long time. I did it probably 5 days a week for 20 years.
Mhm.
And I used to love dancing, and sadly I haven't danced as much as I would like to.
Yeah.
I love movies, love movies. Always have, always will. That's why I live here. Yeah, those are a few things. Yeah, how about you guys? Name 2 things that you love to do, each of you?
I like to show off.
That's true.
Show off.
Yeah.
I
When
love that.
Well, like when I'm out, like when I'm out there on the field, and like with the football players, and doing some running plays, and like when I used to play basketball, but I had an injury, so I scored, I think, 6 points, and nobody's ever done that before
In our team.
on our
Whoa.
team. So it's like, I got to steal and assist, and
Yeah.
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 so
Oh, that's amazing.
so do you know anything about sign language? Did you ever use that?
I do. I learned to sign from my father.
Yeah.
Yeah, my father was deaf, as
Yeah.
you know, and he never taught us though. That's the irony.
Yeah.
When he married my mom, he was hearing. He didn't want to be compensated for that way, in that way, and he was an incredible lip reader.
Mhm.
So he was able to get away with it without signing. And as you know, or maybe or don't know, but back then, my dad was born in the 20s. And so the
Mhm.
20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, up until he married my mom, the worlds were very separate, right? There was a deaf world, there was a hearing world. It was very rare that you integrated the two. And
Yeah.
so when my dad made a choice to marry a hearing woman, he wanted to join the hearing world. And I think for the most part it was good to him, and he was happy with that decision. But he never taught us sign language. I actually learned as a camp counselor working with people with kids with disabilities, and then I became fluent for a short time because I played a deaf character in a film back in the late '90s. Because the director knew that my father was deaf and saw me signing a little bit with my dad. 'Cause we signed a little bit, but and he just thought it was beautiful, and so he wrote the character as a deaf boy, and so I played that kid, and that was amazing. And then I surprised my dad by using sign from that point on. And as he got older, he was very grateful because it was getting harder and harder for him to lip read, and so he really enjoyed signing with me and stuff as he got older. So that was fun.
I went to Park School in Evanston, which is
Oh yeah.
and they have that's where I learned how to sign.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
How fluent are you? Are you pretty smooth?
Somewhat, but not that much.
I know
Yes.
I know the alphabet, and I know some. So,
Yeah.
but through the years, and so
My dad taught me the thing he was so proud to teach me, which probably says a lot about my dad, was all the swear words.
oh, you know that too?
Yeah.
Oh, I know those too. Yeah, he was
I
very
know
excited.
one, but I'm not, there's no
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah. No. This is amazing individuals. This
Yeah.
isn't crude swearing individuals.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
We gotta
because
stay.
people
We
pick
gotta
it
stay
up,
true to
but-
the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but just
Yeah.
leave it at that.
Yes.
Maybe we'll
I'll leave
leave
it
it
at
up.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And see, that's another, like, his passion is like showing off. My passion is just like to, to advocate for, and giving back to, the community, for people with intellectual disabilities. So
And that's what, and that's what I'm doing now, since I'm
It-
semi-retired, so
you're doing the same thing.
I'm I wanna give back, and I've been volunteering for the police department for 32 years now, and I got
Oh,
recognized,
sweet.
I think 2 years
years
ago. And they had a reception for me, and I got a plaque, and so I'm
Wow, that's
still waiting for
amazing.
that. So, when you come down, I introduce you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
I got a
awesome.
lot of friends.
Yeah.
Fantastic, man. Yeah, you
Yeah,
know,
Yeah.
you
no, I
know,
really
powerful
enjoy it.
people.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah.
We tried to.
See,
so.
amazing individuals.
mhm.
Yeah, we tried to.
It's
So
not what you know, it's who you know.
there you go.
That's
I
right.
can't tell you because it's classified. right?
Yeah.
Yeah, classified. Shh.
Yeah. So, what is one thing that you would like people to tell that maybe they don't know about you? So,
Ooh, one thing that people don't know about me. Hmm. I, uh, I bite my nails. I bite my nails. I'm
I
not
can
proud of it.
tell.
yeah.
Yeah, and what's really sad is I watched the end of Rogue One, Star Wars movie with my
Mhm.
boys last night, and I noticed I looked at my boys during like this really intense scene, and we were all picking our nails. And I was like, oh no, they inherited that from me. And I was very sad because I wish I could stop. I've tried a million times and I can't. And now I'm seeing it with my boys. I'm like, oh no, they're gonna be picking and biting their nails for the rest of their lives because of daddy. And my mom does too. Like she picks her nails, and I'm like, oh no, I think it's just a gene. Like, and I don't know if it's anxiety or whatever it is, but yeah. So now the whole family.
Star Wars
First one.
movies, the first one?
Yeah.
No, Rogue
Oh,
One.
no.
So it's
Oh, yeah.
it's 1, 2, 3, then Han Solo, and then Rogue One. So it's technically the fifth in the library because it's right before Rogue One ends with them passing the plans to destroy the Death Star to Princess Leia.
So
Uh,
And that sets
Rogue
up
Rogue One,
up
yeah.
4,
Okay.
5, and 6.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
I only know this because we were looking on Disney Plus last night with my boys because they were really like, which one do we watch next? And I was like, we got to actually start from the beginning, boys, because this is number 5 technically.
Right.
Anyway, but yeah, that's a great
Yeah.
film actually. Rogue One is a great film.
Yeah,
It's
we
really
should
well
start
done.
watching
I know,
it.
we will.
Because I'm like I'm used to the original, the last.
Oh, I love
Star Wars.
I love 4,
Yeah.
5, and 6.
Yeah.
That's
No.
the best, the
So, yeah.
best.
So, but yeah,
Yeah.
so you can ask your fun question.
Okay, you ready for this one?
I think so.
Okay. Before we go, who are you rooting for in the Super Bowl?
That's awesome. Well, I will say I'm voting for the Rams because I live here in Los Angeles. But I'm also voting for the Rams because Matthew Stafford, the quarterback, played on the Detroit Lions for years at a really elite level. And this as a quarterback and you play a football team, and he was always on a really awful team, sadly. And so I feel like it would be nice to see him, not only is it nice, obviously he's finally going to a Super Bowl, but for him to win a Super Bowl after being in the league for that long at that level and always being on a really poopy team, it would be nice to see him win finally. But also, I like Cincy and I like Burrow and I like Chase and they haven't won or even been there in so long. And I feel very empathetic to that because my Buffalo Bills haven't been there in so long and they never won. And so like, I really appreciate teams and cities that, that really it would be awesome for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. So I get that. So yeah.
just because I live here and I don't want to get, hurt or hit by anyone that,
No, I understand
Um,
that. Yeah, that's like
yeah,
us
yeah.
in
Gotta
Chicago,
be careful. I gotta remember
Yeah.
where I live.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that's going. Who are you guys cheering for?
I'm going for the underdog,
The Bengals.
the Bengals, because
Bengals?
I don't know if they've won a Super Bowl or not, but I'd like to see them win,
Nice.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
because the Rams have gotten a couple of Super Bowls already from the past.
Yeah, well, the
I
Kurt
just wanna
Warner
see it come.
years,
Yeah.
the Kurt Warner Super Bowl was pretty epic.
Yeah.
That's a great documentary too. I think it's called The Underdog or something like that.
Yeah.
But there's a new documentary about Kurt Warner that's
Yeah.
supposed to be great.
Ooh.
And what about you, Lisa? Who do you want to?
I don't know. I'm mixed. So my parent. I went to high school in Toledo, so we were kind of a Cincy and Cleveland, but
Oh yeah,
I'm originally from here, so and from Chicago, so I don't know. It would be nice to see the Bengals win, but I also agree with you. I think Stafford deserves to be on a winning team this year. So
yeah. It'd be fun to see him win, but
Yeah.
it'd be fun for everybody. I mean, everybody
Yeah.
fights for it. I think with Burrow, their quarterback, he's so young and he's got plenty of years ahead of him.
Right.
So I think he'll get back regardless. And I don't know about Stafford, because he's probably in his early 30s. I think he's 32 or 33, and who knows? But yeah, we'll see. I just want a great Super Bowl because the playoffs have been
basically what I want to.
Yeah, the playoffs have been so epic and so amazing that it would be really fun to have a great Super Bowl too. But
Right.
we'll see. We'll see.
Whoever wins, and I'm happy either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as they show up,
Yeah.
right?
That's
There you
it.
go.
That's what I'm
As they
talking
show
about.
up.
And if you ever want to watch it, we're recording the game.
So are you
Oh,
actually?
nice.
Do you get to go, or are you gonna just watch it at home?
No, I'm not going. You know how much the tickets are? The cheapest ticket, I was looking it up just for fun. The cheapest ticket was $5,000 for one.
Wow.
For one. Like ridiculous. There's no way. It would have to be the most epic. Even then, I don't think I would enjoy it spending that kind of money.
No.
It's just that's crazy. That's so crazy. But yeah, anyway. So I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Before we go, what would you like that awesome question you asked me? Like, what would you like to see in the world to make the lives of people with disabilities better?
I
Like
guess
what-
for me, I think, like you said, like just more inclusion. I think, just more. I was talking to one of the Congress people because it's Capitol Hill Day for Special Olympics, and some of us get to speak to them, and I was telling her this too. Is like just like more inclusion and just just more acceptability.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that would be nice. So how about you?
Same thing.
Yeah.
To be more acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And give people a chance. Give them a chance to, don't leave them out. Include them, because it's not, it's like stepping back. It's like, well, how do I, I want to say something, but I can't. Give them that chance. Like when I like before I met you today, and I had to write stuff out because I get nervous when I meet. I call like you sort of like a celebrity, but now that I've met you, you're beyond that now. But Ian, that's how I do things, because I write stuff out and then I ask, is there any way that, like, when I meet Warren Sapp, is there any way that I could get a picture with you and get your autograph? Just like what you're doing,
And I think that's the nice relationship we have with Northwestern is a lot of their football team has been accepting to him, like when he'll want to throw the football around, or like they'll have like their students, help us out with practice. So I think that kind of helps too. So if you have more of an acceptance, so.
Yeah, acceptance, inclusion, making a connection. It's funny that you say, I'm a quote unquote celebrity. I mean, I chuckle because I certainly don't feel like one, and I'm not one, but it is wild, right? Because we do, when we first started this, you said you were nervous, and because, it was based on, again, like a label, right? It was like the idea of me was as like a celebrity, or you just see my movie. But then once you got to know me, you realize that I'm just a dude that loves flag football too, right? And so I think it works both ways. Like we all kind of, we have this idea of people, but it's not until we actually meet them and have these interactions like we just had for the last hour, that you realize, oh wow, look at all the things we have in common. Look at all, like we're just people, right? We're all just people trying to get to know each other. But I think that's it. Like it's the effort to try to get to know each other. And I think if we create more situations where we have opportunity to get to know each other, that's the secret sauce, And I think, as you say, Lisa, like we just have to create more opportunities, more inclusive situations and experiences for people to get to know each other, which is awesome.
Right.
But see, but my thing is, I'm gonna make it short and sweet, but my thing is that I wanted to get, to get your autograph, and then I actually want to meet you one day, but I think that it'll happen, but I just wanted to get those out.
Yeah.
So that
it'll happen. I mean, I had a nice run to Chicago a few times prior to the pandemic, so I'm hoping that there'll be another opportunity sooner than later to at least get close. But yeah, we'll figure it out, and we'll all have lunch, and we'll get together with Daniel and a few other.
I'll pick up the lunch tab. We'll have lunch at Lou's. I'll pick it up.
Yeah, baby. All right, money bags. Let's do it.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, because it's all who you know, and we'll have a whole police escort. We'll have a police. We'll go to the field. We'll play a little football, and we'll have all the cops like take us en route to the pizza place.
Oh, I'll set that up. That's not
that would be so awesome.
So I just wanted to tell you that, before we end it, but
no, we'll make it happen at some point. It might not be this year, but we'll make it happen.
That's fine. And then you can actually meet my boss.
Oh,
nice boss.
Excellent. I love that.
Yeah.
This is my little friend.
Yeah. Who I just beat on the football field.
Yeah.
I crushed him.
There you go.
You're gonna see how good of an arm I got too.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
I actually know how to throw spirals.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I can't kick the ball, but
hopefully you can find me in the end zone.
I can throw the long ball, trust me.
Yeah.
It's
all right, baby.
Here.
Yep.
I am so excited about the game.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Brian, for joining us today. We really appreciate it, and we really enjoyed talking to you. So,
okay.
You know what, you guys, I had a blast, and I'm so thrilled that you asked me to be a part of this, and I'm grateful and honored that you thought I would be a nice contestant on the Amazing Individual podcast. No, really, it means the world to me, and it was really fun to spend some time with you guys and get to know you more, Lisa, and we had a good time at the comment event, but this is even better because we get an actual chance to have a dialogue and an exchange. But really, it was great to meet you guys, and hopefully we'll throw some footballs and eat pizza soon, and
I'll take care of the pizza. Don't worry about that.
And send me your address, and I will send you a signature.
I would definitely do that. So,
all right.
So why don't you wrap it up?
Are you at home or are you at the office?
Oh, I'm actually at home. I'm actually
at home.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had a nice morning here with my wife, and I get my kids off to school. And then I have a meeting right after this, and so. But yeah, I'm at home, which is nice.
Okay. And it's probably nicer up over there than it is here. It's
it is. Yeah. I won't even hold the iPad out the window right now. I'd be really bummed for you guys. It's like 76 degrees and sunny.
Yeah.
So
it's in the 20s here. So
is that your office?
Yeah.
Ouch.
So is that your office?
This is my office. My home office.
It looks nice. So why don't you join it?
Before we end today, Lisa and I would like to remind everyone to make sure to get their COVID vaccine.
If you haven't.
Yeah.
And then just to remember to subscribe to our channel, and remember that people with intellectual disabilities can accomplish what they want with the right supports. So
I love that. That's a great button. That's exactly right. As long as you find your cheerleaders. I say that all the time. Find the people that believe in you and lift you up and support you in the ways you need to thrive and reach your potential. That's the key.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.